904 Hurricane wants a comparison here between Cameron Williams and Chance Williams.
Okay. Well, Cameron Williams is a 6'5" guy. He was about 220 last year. He's climbed at about 230 right now. And I wouldn't say, I got to be careful how I say this. Size-wise, he's very similar to Greg as far as super long arms, lanky guy that can get after the QB. Now, he played a little bit of a striker position. He wasn't just a pure defensive end in high school. The high school that he played at, Chaminade, Madonna, they run a 4.25. And we've got a lot of guys out of there, Keontre Smith and Greg and things of that nature, that come from that school to the University of Miami. And they run a very similar system to us in the 4.25 scheme. And Cam Williams was that striker linebacker type of player who came here to play pure defensive end. I think he's somebody that can feature in. I think he still needs a couple mango seasons before he's like a big-time contributor to the team. But Chance Williams, a borderline, I mean, he was like one of the highest-rated 4-star recruits from the 2020 recruiting class this past year. Every SEC offer you could think of. And originally, he had, boiled down to, I think, Auburn, Georgia, and LSU. But then built a great relationship with the University of Miami and ended up picking Miami as he's more of a 3-4 outside linebacker type edge rusher, where he's super nimble and super athletic, super elusive with the way that he gets after the QB. Somewhat more of a Von Miller type of edge rusher as opposed to a Khalil Mack type of edge rusher. The difference between the both is they both play 3-4 left outside linebacker. But Khalil Mack is a power rusher. I mean, he'll pick you up and blow you up. While Vaughn is, he's doing spin moves and chop dip rips, and he had great hips and flipping around and dancing and stuff. Like it's a different way he gets to the QB, and I think that's a similar type of comparison here. So Cam Williams is more of a power rusher with this long limb, to where Chance Williams is a really dynamic, elusive edge rusher presence. He's a guy I could definitely see in his career here in Miami touching 10 sacks at least 1 year. The way that he can come off of that football, the way that he can chop, dip, rip, and he keeps his distance between offensive tackles. And what I'm hoping they don't ever do is power set him. Because if you power set, he gets a quick swim, it is over. What I mean by power set is usually you see a soft set offensive tackle. What that means is they kick, and when they land that right foot, if they're at right tackle, right leg again, that's about 3 to 4 steps to where they keep, and they're kicking and giving ground to be able to put their hands up and keep the distance between. When someone power sets, it's usually 1 or 2 steps. You kick initially off of your inside leg, and you're taking those 2 steps, and you're, boom, hitting them and keeping them at the line of scrimmage. That's what you do against your bigger guys, to where they can't bull rush and build momentum towards you. But when you soft kick, you're able to say, well, I got longer arms than this guy. I can kick and keep him at bay. So I'm hoping that when it comes to Chance Williams, people do not power set him or quick set him. They're going to have to soft set. They're going to have to kick and give up ground to try to keep him away. Because if you stop and he gets around you instantly, play over.
The question I have for you, Wholesome One, in response to the Russo absence, would be you mentioned some defensive ends who need to step up, who could step up. You did also mention that, hey, between Quincy Roche and Jalen Phillips, that's not a bad place to be. Most teams across America would say, hey, even without Russo, we'll take those two at DN for us. Mm-hmm. But is there a particular guy, now that those guys should be, jumping at the opportunity for more playing time and saying, hey, this is my chance? You mentioned about 3 guys. Is there anyone in particular that you're very interested in seeing step up and make more of an impact at the end?
He wears number 12. He's about 6'4", 247 pounds right now. And his name is JFHARI Harvey. Listen, fellow Locks brother. But this young man, I don't know who his defensive line coach was in high school at Vero Beach, but when you watch his high school film, the moves that this guy was using, I'm like, whoa, you know, like when you're usually the biggest guy on the field or one of the bigger guys, a marquee 4-star guy, you usually see them just flat out dominate, picking up guys, throwing them, you know, huge big head, strip sack, and all that type of stuff. He had all the athleticism, but what you notice is that he's a technician too. I mean, there's plenty of times where I'm watching him simply just pick apart offensive tackles with realizing what type of set, just like I said, a soft or hard set, a quick set, or, you know, that type of thing. Look, he's looking at that initially. He already knows what moves he's going to use. And he's just completely using moves before they're even able to punch him. Before they're even able to get their hands on him, he's already double swipe gone, sack. You know, or even his plays where his effort has been tested. I mean, I remember when going to a practice last year, one of the two that I was privy to being able to attend. And he's standing next to Zach McLeod, who was a 4-year senior at the time. And he was becoming a redshirt freshman. Hadn't even put on his red shirt yet. And he was the exact same size as Zach McLeod, who's been here for 4 years. That type of production, that type of effort as an early enrollee defensive end, this is a type of young man. He is going to jump off the scene when he gets his opportunity. We got to see him play a little bit in La Tech. It was his first time playing. I believe he had 1 or 2 tackles in the game. He didn't jump off the screen just yet. But him being able to come in kind of like how John Garvin did in 2017 as a situational pass rusher. You come in, you got one job. Don't jump off sides. And as soon as that ball moves, you fly to the ball carrier. You know, just give us 100% effort. That way we can evaluate it and we can work on moving forward. But that's the type of stuff as far as laying the pillars to create a good program. It's when you got marquee 4-star guys like that doing number one thing, Mark, early enrolling. When they early enroll the very next semester, they're not contributors instantly. They're taking a red shirt. Beautiful 4-game rule for us nowadays. And it's any 4 games. It isn't just the first 4 games. And not only that, now year 2 in the system, as a redshirt freshman, he's a feature player, meaning he's coming in and playing certain downs, but he doesn't have to be an instant contributor. And by my research, year 3 is when you want those guys, redshirt sophomores or true juniors, to start contributing to your team at a high level. And that's what's going to happen with JFHARI Harvey, barring any injury, you know, anything of that nature. But this year, I would keep an eye out for number 12 edge rusher JFHARI